Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, chai, tea, latte again. Nice. What else did you expect, right? Some people make it so easy to not give a shit about them. You know anyone like that? Can you believe that Tim Russert has been dead for 12 years? For those of you that know who he was, I can still hear his voice like it was yesterday. Strange, isn't it? 12 years. Play It Pretty for Atlanta. Ronnie Van Zant, 1973. Some of you will understand where that came from. Let's talk about alcoholism. It's my annual talk about alcoholism. Some people drink to intoxication on a daily basis. In this day and age, it also includes usually some other drugs, whether it be pot or some kind of pills or medications or something. The most easily available is alcohol and marijuana. Their personality changes. If they drink daily, their personality changes daily with the intake of the substances. The problem is, after a while, that the change in personality actually becomes them. They are then synonymous with that behavior change. The people that are closest to them can't discuss it, not allowed to discuss it, and the subject controls them with outbursts, anger, passive-aggressive behavior. And that person, 9 times out of 10, does bear the scars of accidents, legal issues, social isolation, family problems. They are in for an early death. That is the reality. And a lot of suffering and medical issues have to take place before they die. It will never be an easy death for them or for their loved ones. The whole life revolves around 3 things: getting drunk, recovering from being drunk, in other words, sleeping it off, and then gearing up for being drunk. And that's usually work during the day. They get drunk quickly initially. It doesn't take long for a true alcoholic to get drunk as far as volume intake is concerned. They've trained the people around them to live with it. They've created a new normal for the people who are around them, to the point where the people who live around them or with them actually make excuses for those people. That's the advanced stages. They make excuses. Some of those excuses are, I just do things by myself now. Or they let the subject do their thing. It gets to the point of just pure emotional survival for the codependent or the people that live around them. The entire household can never be normal, whatever normal is, unless all intoxicating substances are purged. The codependent's life, the people living with them or around them, family or friends or roommates or whatever, the codependent's life, it's like trying to dance with a drunk. Have you ever tried to dance with a drunk? All of your moves are to compensate for their lack of moves. Excuses, stories, lack of social life, isolation. There's no upside to alcoholism in drinking on a regular basis. Alcoholism is a slow, terminal illness. It will kill you. If it doesn't kill you fast through a car accident or a slip and fall, it's going to kill you from the inside out through your organs. Everything else will die around you as well, including your family. Like, who was Father Martin used to say, alcohol is a solvent. It removes stains, families, wives, children. Think about your drinking. Think about your alcohol consumption. You might even you might be beyond thinking about it because it's so normal for you. It's part of your day. It's like getting up and having coffee. It's like getting dressed. Everyone else around you is dying a slow death. Everyone. And it hurts everyone. You think you're just getting yourself intoxicated. You think you're just wrecking yourself. You're wrecking your family. You're wrecking your work. You're wrecking your reputation. You're wrecking your legacy. Can you imagine you die and everyone's looking at your casket? You laid out in your casket. No one is saying, what a shock. Everyone is saying, what a shame. And your legacy is, he was the drunk one. She was the drunk one. Wow. Blows my mind. Just that alone would make me never want to touch alcohol ever again. What a shame. You are all fired. Everyone. Everyone's fired. In 3 days, everyone is welcome to come back and reapply for their jobs. How's that for a little corporate reorganization? You think people would re-interview a little bit differently than they did when they initially interviewed? I think so. You stay close to the people who supported and encouraged you on your way up. That's smart. I enjoy being that person for fellow climbers. I love making phone calls for people, connecting people. It's one of the great joys in life. What do I get out of it? The satisfaction of watching people who needed help now living and operating competently in a new position, a new role. I like that. I mentored somebody at one point who was struggling in their hair career. Now, I think they have five establishments that do hair, where people get their hair done. And I think this is the year that they're going to add 3 more. By the end of the year, they're going to have 8. And I know it was my mentoring that got them to the point where they could go that far. It's kind of cool. Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. Show me that you love me too. Paul Anka, 1968. It's kind of crazy when you take music away from lyrics. Some of the lyrics sound so desperate, don't they? It's hard to listen to music when you just read the lyrics, because we love the music. It's almost as if music is a delivery system to deliver weakness, desperation, right? For short daily commutes, a pre-owned motor scooter that gets 60 to 110 miles a gallon can pay for itself in one summer. Think about that. If you live in the city or a small town, suburban sprawls with highways, not so much, because you don't want to be on the fast roads with these things. Something from 49 cc's to 250 cc's. A pre-owned motor scooter, you can buy one for $500 to $2,000. They can go from 35 miles an hour to 75 miles an hour. Like I said, perfect for a city, perfect for a town where you don't have to leave that town. Living together is not a simulation for marriage, according to Gary Chapman. What are your thoughts about living together? The stats of living together are that you increase, I believe the statistics are that when you live together, you increase your chance for divorce by 30 or 40% if you live together first. I don't know why that is. I've read those statistics quite often, but I'm not sure why that is. But what are your thoughts about living together and playing house and simulating marriage just to see if it works? I'm not condemning either way. I'm not pushing anything. I'm not condemning anything. What are your thoughts about it? Are you a fan of the 5 love languages? That's another thing that Gary Chapman came up with. The 5 love languages of how the other person needs to be loved and how you need to be loved. And there's a test, a quiz that you can take, the 5 love languages quiz. If you just Google that, you and your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. I'm trying more and more to not say partner. I almost talked myself into that years ago, and I got to talk myself out of using that word. Boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, or wife. How do you need to be loved? What is important to you? And how do they need to be loved? What do they, are you the kind of person that likes to give gifts? Are they the person that likes to receive gifts? Or do they like physical touch? Or do they like words? Do they want to hear words of encouragement, love, reassurance? How do you need to be loved? And how do they need to be loved? And if you knew that information, would it be helpful for you? Take the 5 love languages quiz and find out. If anything, it'll make a good starting point for conversation. Conversation, gosh, what is that? We haven't had that in years. Many couples will tell me. I read an article yesterday that said 70 is the new middle age. If that's true, I could still see my grandkids graduate from college and maybe even be married for 30 years. If 70 is the new middle age, I'm not going to be 70 for 10 years. So those statistics say I'm going to live to be 95 or 100. I still could have a nice long life ahead of me. Anger is one of the 2 emotions that makes a man feel alive. What do you think the other emotion is? Don't think in polarity. What is the other emotion? Put it down below. I'd like to see that. Don't forget to visit our sponsors in the links down below, especially the Grondike Soap Company. They're coming out with some new scents that are just blowing my mind. I just got them yesterday right here, as a matter of fact. I am crazy about them. They're not for sale yet. When they are, I'll let you know. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason.